What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. I'm back, and today I'm doing an old one. The video quality may not be very good, obviously, because it's small for you all. It may not be as noticeable, but this is from like 2003, 2004. I'm doing a video from the Dresden Dolls today. One of my favorite sort of mid-2000s punk bands, I guess. They are actually responsible for taking Panic at the Disco on their first national tour. So they're pretty significant in the history of, alt music in the mid-2000s. The song I am doing is called Girl Anachronism, and we'll get into it in just a second. Before I do, as always, coffee. I'm not a professional. Please don't expect me to be getting into keys, time signatures, things like that. That's just not my skill set. And don't be a dick. It's simple. Don't be a dick. I try to keep it very thoughtful when I do these. Try to keep it respectful, and I would appreciate it if we could keep that same energy in the comments. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is Girl Anachronism by the Dresden Dolls. Hopefully. Okay, there we go.
From the scars on my arms and the cracks in my hips and the dents in my car and the blisters on my lips that I'm not the carefulest of girls. You can tell from the glass on the floor and the strings that are breaking, and I keep on breaking more, and it looks like I am shaking, but it's just that temperature. Then again, if it were any colder, I could disengage. If I were any older, I would act my age, but I don't think that you believe me. It's not the way I'm meant to be, it's just the way the operation may be. From the state of my room that they let me out too soon, and the pills that I ate came a couple weeks too late. I've got some issues to work through. There I go again, pretending to be you, make believing that I have a soul beneath the surface, trying to convince you it was accidentally unprocessed. I am not so serious, this passion is a plagiarism. I might show your century, but only on a rare occasion. I was taken up before the labor pains of 10. Now that all the world was accidental. By the red in my eyes and the bruises on my thighs and the knots in my hair and the full of flies that I'm not right now at all. There I go again, pretending that I'll fall. Call it after, since you've seen it all before. They'll say just let her crack and burn. She'll learn the attention just encourages her. If you can tell from the full body cast that you say that you have, so you did everything you could like any decent person would, but I might be catching sedum touch. Don't believe that you're immune to gravity and stuff. Don't get me wet because the bandages will all come off. You can tell from the state after state that the current state is critical. What is the little thing for instance? Time it takes to break that she would make a 10 excuses. Excuse her for the day, it's just the way the medication makes her. I don't necessarily believe there is a cure for this. So unlike 20th century, that only ends in death for death. I was too precarious, removed as necessary. You don't know what's that. I am the anachronism. I am the anachronism. I am the anachronism.
I really love that song, and I really love the Dresden Dolls. Now, I will say, there are probably some things that I would disagree with Amanda Palmer on philosophically. And I don't know enough about her stances these days to necessarily get into it. But I will say, at the time, the Dresden Dolls were a very, very disruptive band. Very punk, very pro-feminist. Their shows, they would often have drag performers. Amanda Palmer, like, doesn't shave her armpits, right? Doesn't necessarily subscribe to the sort of societal standards for how women are supposed to comport themselves. And I think that's really valuable. I think that they were pushing boundaries, gender bending kind of stuff. And I think that there is some real value to what they were doing. The song itself, Girl Anachronism, right? There are some lines that kind of stick out. But a lot of it is about sort of feeling out of place, right? Girl Anachronism, anachronism is, it would be like seeing an iPhone in a Western, right? Like, it's something that shouldn't exist in that time. Usually it's something more advanced, right? Anachronistic. Sometimes it does mean old, like somebody who's wearing like full-on Victorian or Georgian, like petticoats and ruffles and the corset and the lace ruff and all that, right? That would be anachronistic because nobody dresses like that. It's not part of our time. But it generally does mean more something from the future is in the past and it doesn't belong. A couple of the lines I really like in this one. Excuse her for the day. It's just the way the medication makes her. The doctors say, just let her crash. The attention only encourages her. As somebody who myself has struggled with mental health issues for much of my life, you do hear those sorts of things. Not so much the second one for me, but certainly just don't give them attention. Just don't acknowledge it, and they'll, when they see that they're not getting attention, they'll move on. That doesn't necessarily work. I would not say it's the best way to deal with somebody who's having mental health issues. But that aside, the music, they called themselves Punk Cabaret. And the only full-time members of the band were Amanda Palmer, who played keys and sings, and Brian Viglione, who plays drums. And they worked really well together. They started out busking and stuff in Boston. And Amanda's a fantastic piano player. She warms up for shows and stuff with Tchaikovsky. She's very, very skilled. And Brian is a great drummer. I don't know that I would say he's necessarily an all-time great drummer, but I would say that his drumming works perfectly for the kind of music they're trying to make. People talk a lot of shit about Ringo Starr, right, for the Beatles. But the fact is, the drums were not the focus of what the Beatles were doing. He is certainly a better drummer than he was, used as. Now, I'm not saying he's a great drummer necessarily, a very successful drummer, did exactly what was needed of him to make that band successful. But I'm sure he could have played more flashy stuff than what he played with the Beatles. But that's not necessarily the point, right? The point is to make music that's effective. And Brian is a very, very good drummer who's very, very good at interpreting this kind of music. I really enjoy the Dresden Dolls. I enjoy the theatricality. I enjoy the sex positivity, the sort of pushing back against cultural norms, societal norms. I think that's really valuable. And I like that song a lot. It's got a good, fast tempo. It's got that driving, low piano, and all the movement in the right hand, moving up and down the keyboard. Yeah, I really, really like that song. So that was Girl Anachronism by the Dresden Dolls. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water. And don't talk to cops.